Chapter 31. Know and improve your numbers. Over my 30-plus year career, I've acquired a body of knowledge and experience. I have incorporated my expertise in exercise physiology with hospital-based wellness programs and designed exercise and nutrition programs for high-risk patients and clients. I've developed systematic health and fitness programs for a major health club and trained numerous personal trainers and personal coaches. What is very clear is that people are unhealthy and over-medicated for many reasons. Understanding those reasons is fundamental to starting the journey to optimal health. Health is about the entire person. In Chapter 30, we discuss decoding our health, being mindful about cues and clues that our body is telling us, and to take the time to step back and listen. A big part of decoding our health is to have a better understanding of our numbers, learning how to interpret them, and understanding our risk. We need to know how to converse with our healthcare professionals and realize what we can do to improve our numbers. Know your numbers. Knowing our numbers and learning how to improve those numbers is essential for optimal health. A blood test will give us and our healthcare professionals meaningful information. A blood test does not keep secrets. If something is not working right inside of us, a blood test may reveal what may be ailing us. Unfortunately, many people have little knowledge or understanding of what blood test numbers mean. They just hope their numbers fall into the normal range. If our numbers are not in the normal range and the doctor wants to prescribe a medication, we may feel helpless due to our lack of education. My goal in this chapter is to provide a better understanding of common test numbers so that you can understand your risk. I will share strategies to help you improve those numbers. I will provide information that will help you have a healthier and more productive conversation with your healthcare professional. A blood test is just one method of evaluation. Our body talks to us in a variety of ways. Cholesterol. Cholesterol is a hot topic. The cholesterol scare has been rampant for decades. When I take a survey, almost everyone reports that they've had their cholesterol checked in the past few years. When I asked the same group if they had their homocysteine or highly sensitive CRP checked recently, just a few raised their hands. Most have never heard of these two blood tests before. Why is this? The short answer is there's no medications to prescribe if these tests come back out of the norm. However, homocysteine and highly sensitive CRP are two important blood tests to help predict the risk of heart disease, cancer, and stroke. Ever thought of cholesterol being a good thing? The latest research suggests that we may actually live longer if we have high cholesterol levels that are in balance. Most people have been led to believe that having high cholesterol is the most important risk factor for having a heart attack or stroke. Yet more than 60% of all heart attacks occur with people with normal cholesterol levels. Over 25% of adults in the United States currently take a statin medication to lower cholesterol. More than $60 billion is spent each year globally on statin medications. Here's the real kicker. The incidence of heart disease is not getting any better. An unbalanced cholesterol profile may be a risk for having a heart attack or stroke, but there are many other risk factors that need to be addressed. Many people still believe that having low cholesterol is good and having high cholesterol is bad. What if the opposite was true? Let's go deeper and start having a better conversation and better understanding of cholesterol so we can have a better conversation with our healthcare professionals and take greater ownership in our own personal health. What does cholesterol do? I believe most people think of cholesterol as something bad or believe low cholesterol is better. Let's change this thinking right now. Cholesterol is essential for optimal health. Cholesterol heals the body, creates our stress hormones and building hormones, transports vitamins and minerals, and helps absorb vitamin D. Cholesterol is essential for memory and brain health. Cholesterol is necessary for strength, vitality, and the production of CoQ10, a powerful antioxidant involved in energy production of every cell in the human body, and most famously, for keeping the heart healthy. During my daughter-in-law's first pregnancy, her blood work included a test for cholesterol by mistake. Her total cholesterol came back extremely high, but her doctor told her not to worry. During pregnancy, cholesterol levels rise dramatically. This is completely normal when making a new life. Cholesterol is amazing, and without it, we would not have life. Causes of high or unbalanced cholesterol. A balanced cholesterol level is what we should all strive for. If cholesterol is too high or out of balance, we need to ask why. Remember, cholesterol is the raw material that makes hormones and keeps our cells energized and healthy. High levels of stress take a toll on the body, causing high inflammation and sleep issues. Consuming too many processed foods or drinking too much coffee, soda pop, energy drinks, or alcohol can cause the body to go into healing mode. In healing mode, the liver begins producing more cholesterol for hormonal balance and repair. Some people may also have a genetic predisposition to produce more cholesterol than the average person. In most of these cases, the goal again is to create balance within the cholesterol profile. Cholesterol is not a risk factor. Unbalanced cholesterol is the risk factor. Statin medications. Obviously, I'm not your doctor. My intention is to empower you with greater knowledge and understanding so that you can work with your doctor or healthcare professional to make informed decisions about your health. I will share my thoughts and strategies for improving cholesterol profiles and lowering the risk of having a heart attack or stroke as an alternative to using a statin medication. What is a statin medication? Statin medications have been on the market for over 30 years and the most prescribed medication around the world to help lower cholesterol levels. Statins are big business, a multi-billion-dollar business, and one that continues to grow. The statin class of medications is very effective at reducing cholesterol. They do their work in the liver by suppressing an enzyme called HMG cofactor A. Blocking this enzyme also blocks the production of CoQ10, a powerful antioxidant that protects the heart. A deficiency in CoQ10 can lead to multiple problems, such as leg pain, muscle cramps, erectile dysfunction, depression, and memory loss, type 2 diabetes, shortness of breath or fatigue, cardiac palpitations, and liver enzymes abnormalities. Statin medications have many side effects. Earlier, I discussed the role of cholesterol and its importance in healthy hormones. Cholesterol is the raw material for all building sex hormones. This means that all healing hormones, growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, mineral corticosteroids, and glucocorticoids are made from cholesterol. If cholesterol production is blocked by statin medications, many of these hormones get compromised. Every week, we receive copies of blood work from people wanting to learn more about having a better understanding of their numbers. When I see an extremely low reading of total cholesterol, followed by an extremely low reading of testosterone, I know this person most likely is taking a statin medication. Statin medications block cholesterol production and compromise the production of building hormones and healing hormones. We must ask why sales of erectile dysfunction medications are skyrocketing. Could one answer to the epidemic of erectile dysfunction be the overconsumption of statin medications? Another concern is the epidemic increases in brain and nerve diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis. All these diseases are based on the breakdown of the myelin sheath, the protective coating that surrounds every nerve in the human body. One of the possible side effects of statin medications is the breakdown of the myelin sheath. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of statin medications due to the vast array of potential side effects. If you want to improve your cholesterol profile, I believe there is a safer and much more effective path to take. Know your risk factors. We all have to take more ownership in our personal health and become more educated. In today's world of medicine, most doctors spend less than 12 minutes per office visit. Seriously, 12 minutes. How do we expect our healthcare professionals to fix broken sleep, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or an unbalanced cholesterol profile in less than 12 minutes? In such a short visit, is it possible for the doctor and patient to fully discuss and agree to future lifestyle changes? Understanding our risk factors is critical to our future health. Here's a snapshot of what you need to know. Cholesterol HDL ratio. The cholesterol HDL ratio is where we should begin to understand risk. Here's an easy example. Total cholesterol of 210 and an HDL of 70. Divide the total cholesterol by the HDL, 210 divided by 70 equals 3.0. For women, the cholesterol HDL ratio should be 3.5 or less, and for men, it should be 4.5 or less. Triglyceride HDL ratio. Another simple cholesterol screen is the triglyceride HDL ratio. For example, triglycerides of 100 and an HDL of 50, divide the total triglycerides by the HDL. 100 divided by 50 equals 2.0. A ratio below 2 indicates a low risk of heart attack or stroke. Cholesterol particle size. Another cholesterol screen is the weight and size of cholesterol particles. It turns out that LDL particles are not all created equal. Smaller, more tightly packed LDL particles have an easier time getting into the arteries. Larger, fluffier particles have difficulty getting into the arteries, making them less dangerous. The goal? Cholesterol particles like beach balls, large and fluffy. Optimal, less than 1,000. Fibrinogen may be tested alongside other heart measurements and is an indicator of the stickiness of platelets. The lower the fibrinogen, the less likely for clotting to take place, which lowers the risk for heart attack or stroke. Normal fibrinogen value of 200 to 400 milligrams per deciliter. Calcium score. Another method to help you understand your overall risk of heart disease or a stroke is to get a calcium score. The calcium score is calculated on the amount of plaque observed in the CT scan. It may be converted to a percentile rank based on your age and gender. Calcium score. Low risk, 0 to 99. Moderate risk, 100 to 400. And high risk, 400 plus. The lower your calcium score, the less likely you are to have a cardiac event compared to other men and women your age. While the likelihood of having heart disease or a heart attack may correlate with your calcium score, remember this is just one of many methods to help you evaluate your risk of having heart disease. What is your risk? Recently, I received an email from a 52-year-old man. He had seen me speak multiple times over the years and wanted to get my thoughts on what his doctor had told him from his recent blood test. He reported that his doctor only had one concern, his cholesterol reading of 242. He also reported that he always had high cholesterol, ate a healthy diet, and exercised on a regular basis. He asked his doctor about lowering cholesterol through some lifestyle improvements, but his doctor told him that 80% of his cholesterol was due to his heredity and wanted to put him on a cholesterol-lowering statin medication. He wanted to hear my thoughts about his cholesterol and possible next steps. This is what I told him. First, you need to have a better understanding of your risk. Most likely, there was little conversation about other risk factors, such as high blood pressure, resting heart rate, breaths per minute, sleep, stress, blood glucose, cholesterol balance, cholesterol particle size, oxidation, and inflammation. How can you put a person on a cholesterol-lowering medication prior to fully understanding their risk factors? How to improve your cholesterol profile. Over the last 30 years, I have helped hundreds of people avoid taking statin medications or to work with their healthcare professionals to wean off their medications by taking a few basic steps. Consistent, targeted lifestyle changes will help you play offense versus defense with your health. Step 1, understand your risk. Understand your numbers and talk with your doctor or healthcare professional before heading down the medication path. Step 2, get enough rest. Getting enough rest is critical for balancing cholesterol and improving overall health. Breathe through the nose and use the diaphragm. Slow your breathing down. Sleep 8 hours plus each night. Create space by taking more micro, medium, and macro breaks. Step 3, hydrate. Drink more water. 1/2 of your body weight in ounces per day or 6 to 8 ounces per hour. Step 4, add cod liver oil to your routine. Take 1 to 2 tablespoons of cod liver oil each morning. This is great for decreasing inflammation, lowering triglycerides, and raising HDL. Step 5, consume flax seeds or chia seeds. Take 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds or chia seeds 4 to 7 times per week. Step 5, consume foods high in vitamin C and ancient grains. Berries, lemons, oranges, grapefruit, limes, watermelon, pineapple, apples, broccoli, kale, asparagus, sweet potatoes, oatmeal, teff, and amaranth can all help bring cholesterol levels back into balance. Step 7, add superfoods to your routine. Add spirulina chlorella, frozen wheatgrass, greens, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, Brazil nuts, apples, walnuts, coconut, cacao nibs, and beans to your diet. Use the food target as your guide. Step 8, move your body daily. Move the body on a daily basis and play more. Find movement activities you love. How to get off or lower the dose of cholesterol medications. Step 1, continue taking your medications. Do not change your medications for the first month or 2. Step 2, get new habits in place. Add cod liver oil, flax seeds, oatmeal, and citrus to your diet. Cut out low-quality foods and upgrade your food and beverage choices. Move your body on a daily basis and work on getting a good night of sleep. Step 3, make an appointment with your doctor. Make a plan to discuss your intention to slowly get off your cholesterol medications with your doctor or healthcare professional. Step 4, get another test in 3 months. After 3 months, get another blood test to monitor your cholesterol profile and other risk factors. If you are seeing your profile start to change, ask your doctor if it's time to start lowering your dose or medications. If you're currently taking 40 milligrams of your cholesterol medication, ask your doctor to cut the dose in half to 20 milligrams and get another blood test in 3 months. Step 5, as your profile improves, continue to lower your dose. Ask your doctor, again, if it's time to cut your statin dosage in half to 10 milligrams and follow the same protocol until you get off your statin medication. I am very passionate about helping people get off their cholesterol-lowering medications because I know it's possible and I know what I'm sharing with you works. By slowly working with your doctor and improving your lifestyle habits, your need for cholesterol medications can slowly disappear. You have the power. Triglycerides. Triglycerides are another fat in the blood similar to cholesterol. Triglycerides are produced in the liver and are extremely sensitive to the foods and beverages we consume. A cholesterol profile may take many months to be impacted by new lifestyle habits, but triglycerides are impacted almost immediately. Triglycerides are a great indicator of current lifestyle, good or bad. It's like looking into a mirror. The mirror does not lie. When people tell me they are eating healthy and their triglyceride levels are elevated, I know they're not giving me the full picture. Causes of high triglycerides. Why are triglyceride levels too high? In most cases, they become elevated due to too many processed foods, fast food, and beverages such as soda pop, energy drinks, and alcohol. Stress and a sedentary lifestyle can also contribute to high triglyceride levels. A target triglyceride reading should be under 100. How to improve triglycerides. Step 1. Consume foods high in omega-3 fats. One of the fastest ways to reduce triglycerides is consuming omega-3 fats such as cod liver oil, ground flax seeds, and chia seeds. Step 2. Consume foods high in chlorophyll. Consume foods high in chlorophyll, greens such as spirulina chlorella, frozen wheatgrass, broccoli, kale, and spinach all help improve triglycerides. Step 3. Cut back on processed carbohydrates. These are found in sweets, alcohol, soda pop, energy drinks, and processed foods. Step 4. Add helpful foods. Eat hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, and colorful fruits and vegetables. And lastly, step number 5, stay hydrated. Diabetes. In 1960, 1 in 4,000 people had type 2 diabetes in the United States. Today, that number is 1 in 10 and trending to 1 in 4. What is wrong with this picture? If we stay on this rapid pace, we may have over 1 million type 2 diabetics in the United States over the next 8 to 10 years, costing upwards of $450 billion in healthcare costs, and even more importantly, costing millions of lives. Type 2 diabetes is no longer a problem facing just the United States. Type 2 diabetes has now turned into a global problem. What is diabetes? When we consume foods or beverages that contain calories, glucose is absorbed in the intestines and distributed by the blood to all cells in the body. To maintain a constant blood glucose level, the pancreas produces 2 opposing hormones, insulin and glucagon. The major role of insulin is to open up the cell for glucose to enter the cell. As a review, go back to section 2 for a full explanation of the cell and how it works. After a meal, blood glucose begins to rise. The pancreas then releases insulin, which opens the membrane of the cell, allowing glucose to enter and feed the cell. Without insulin, glucose cannot enter the cell. Glucagon, on the other hand, is the opposing hormone to insulin. Glucagon is released by the pancreas when blood glucose levels begin to drop, almost as a safety net for maintaining a steady flow of glucose to the cells. Glucagon does this by releasing stored reserves of glucose called glycogen. There are 2 types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. For type 1 diabetics, the pancreas does not produce insulin. For type 2 diabetics, insulin is produced, but it has a difficult time opening up the cell. For type 1 diabetics, insulin must be taken because the pancreas does not produce insulin. Most type 1 diabetics are born with this condition. However, today, we are also seeing a major rise in the number of type 1 diabetics due to unhealthy lifestyles that lead to a vast increase in autoimmune diseases that may damage and break down the pancreas. Type 2 diabetes, on the other hand, is a lifestyle disease in which the cell membrane becomes too stiff and rigid over time. When the cell membrane becomes too stiff and rigid, it is extremely difficult for insulin to open the membrane of the cell for glucose to enter, like a rusty lock on a door. Today, approximately 90 to 95% of all diabetics around the world are type 2. Type 2 diabetes damages the body. Obesity and type 2 diabetes often occur together. A person who is over the age of 35 and is overweight is a prime candidate for developing type 2 diabetes. As the obesity epidemic continues to rise around the world, it is as if we are purposely cultivating the next generation of type 2 diabetics. As the health of the United States, along with the rest of the world, continues to decline, type 2 diabetes will continue to explode. When high levels of uncontrolled blood glucose begin to circulate throughout the body, the accumulation of blood glucose generates free radical damage to capillaries and blood vessels. High blood glucose creates high levels of inflammation, and inflammation is the root cause of almost every disease known to the human body. This may lead to several health complications, starting with the smallest vessels in the human body. Type 2 diabetes attacks the eyes, kidneys, extremities, the heart, the brain, and may cause impotency. Type 2 diabetes is a wrecking crew that slowly destroys the mind and the body. Diagnosing type 2 diabetes. Developing type 2 diabetes does not happen overnight. Type 2 diabetes takes time to develop and may show up in a variety of symptoms such as increased urination, extreme thirst or hunger, fatigue, sleep apnea, eczema or psoriasis, dry mouth, headaches, blurred vision, or cuts and bruises that are slow to heal, along with tingling, pain, or numbness in the hands or feet. There are two screening blood test measurements for diabetes. First is a blood glucose test. Second is a blood test, hemoglobin A1C. This test measures glucose over a period of time. The test for blood glucose levels is like checking the stock market for a day. The hemoglobin A1C test looks at the stock market over a 6 to 12 week period and is used in conjunction with blood glucose monitoring. A normal blood glucose level should be less than 100. If blood glucose measures closer to that 100 marker, a hemoglobin A1C should be checked. Hemoglobin A1C results are expressed as a percentage of hemoglobin molecules that have glucose molecules bound to them. If there's not enough insulin for the amount of glucose, the level of hemoglobin A1C will rise. A normal hemoglobin A1C test is between 4 and 5.6%. Hemoglobin A1C levels between 5.7 and 6.4% indicate increased risk of diabetes, and levels of 6.5% or higher indicate diabetes. Causes of high blood glucose or hemoglobin A1C. Most people believe that type 2 diabetes is caused by eating too many carbohydrates. Type 2 diabetes is not a disease of carbohydrates and sugars. The problem is an unhealthy cell. Type 2 diabetes begins at the cellular level. As the cell membrane becomes stiff and rigid like an M&M candy shell, insulin has a difficult time opening up the cell. Most type 2 diabetics have been told to cut back on the consumption of carbohydrates. What is truly important is to consider the source of the carbohydrates. Are they real foods such as fruits, vegetables, ancient grains, or starchy carbohydrates? Are they close to the source? Dehydration, nutritional deficiencies, especially omega-3 fats, medications, stress, poor breathing, and lack of sleep also contribute to the skyrocketing increase of type 2 diabetes around the world. How to prevent or reverse type 2 diabetes. It is possible to reverse type 2 diabetes. For over 30 years, I've worked with hundreds of type 2 diabetics. My first conversation always begins with questions about their beliefs. If we do not address their beliefs, they are not going to get the outcome they most desire: improved health. One of the first questions is whether they know that type 2 diabetes is preventable and, most importantly, reversible. Most have been told that type 2 diabetes is not reversible but manageable if they create a healthier lifestyle, eat better, and move more. Almost everyone says they've been told to increase protein and cut out carbohydrates, to avoid all foods that contain sugar, including most fruits, potatoes, and grains. This is a disaster in the making, leading to high levels of acid, inflammation, and an unhealthy cell to boot. Type 2 diabetes certainly can be improved, managed, and reversed through an improved lifestyle. The human body has an incredible ability to heal and self-correct if given the proper tools. The first step is getting the cell membrane soft and permeable. As the cell membrane becomes healthier, it allows insulin to easily open up the cell door for glucose to enter. As the health of the cells improves, so does the improvement of overall health. Blood glucose levels slowly begin to come back into balance. Preventing and reversing type 2 diabetes begins with the 3 foundational pillars for optimal health: how we rest, how we eat, and how we move. Step 1, develop good breathing habits. Increase breath awareness. Stay in tune with your breath. Breathe through the nose. The nose is a switchboard to calm the mind and relax the body. Use the diaphragm. The diaphragm is powerful muscle at the base of the lungs that needs to be exercised to maintain lung capacity, allowing cells to absorb more oxygen. Practice slow breathing. Inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. Do this for 2 to 5 minutes every day. Step 2, improve sleep. Value sleep. Plan your sleep. Create a healthy sleep environment: dark, cool, and quiet. Consume magnesium-rich foods that help relax the body. Move daily and limit screen time. Step 3, hydrate. Stay properly hydrated to keep your cells healthy, soft, and permeable. Drink 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Drink half your body weight in ounces each day. Add a lemon, lime, or ginger slices to a glass of water. Step 4, consume foods high in omega-3 fats. Over 95% of Americans are deficient in omega-3 essential fatty acids. Omega-3 fats are essential in making and keeping the cell soft and permeable. Add cod liver oil, flax seeds, and chia seeds to your nutritional plan. Step 5, add superfoods to your routine. Foods high in chlorophyll are like scrubbing bubbles, cleaning the cell membrane. Bring on the superfoods. Spirulina chlorella and frozen wheatgrass are the 2 oldest and most powerful superfoods, highest in chlorophyll, nucleic acid, and minerals, and fantastic for cell health. Include broccoli, kale, spinach, asparagus, and any food dark green in color to your diet. Step 6, add magnesium through foods and baths. Magnesium is the mineral of relaxation and also increases cellular sensitivity. Foods rich in magnesium include avocados, oatmeal, coconut, cacao nibs, greens, dates, figs, raisins, prunes, bananas, mangoes, ginger, walnuts, chia seeds, beans, and beets. Taking an Epsom salt bath is high in magnesium. Add 2 cups of Epsom salts to a warm bath. Soak for 15 minutes, 1 to 2 times per week. Step number 7, consume foods good for gut health. Cell health begins with a healthy gut. Apples, strawberries, berries, cherries, celery, sauerkraut, pickles, mushrooms, onions, bok choy, garlic, apple cider vinegar, sea vegetables, root vegetables, potatoes, squash, teff, amaranth, buckwheat, salmon, beans, nuts, seeds, cinnamon, and turmeric all provide healthy nutrients for gut and cells. Step 8. Add vitamin D through foods and sunshine. Vitamin D is a powerful healer and improves cell sensitivity. Sunshine. Get at least 30 minutes of sunshine daily. And lastly, cod liver oil is high in vitamin D3. Take 1 to 2 tablespoons of cod liver oil every day. Step 9. Cut out low-quality foods and beverages. Slowly begin to upgrade foods and beverages to give the cells a chance to heal and repair. Avoid trans fats, fast food, and processed foods and beverages which make the cell stiff and rigid, making it extremely difficult for insulin to open it up. Use the food target to make upgrades. Step 10. Move daily. One of the greatest ways to improve the sensitivity of our cells is to move the body on a daily basis. Create a new mindset around moving the body every day. Start with 10 minutes or more per day. Find enjoyable physical activities. And lastly, don't forget the healing power of play. Homocysteine. We've been discussing blood tests that are very common and familiar to most of us. One test that is relatively unknown but provides valuable insight is homocysteine. Homocysteine is an amino acid that can be measured in a simple blood test that measures oxidation. What is oxidation? Oxidation occurs when rain hits metal and it begins to rust, or when we bite into an apple and it immediately begins to turn brown. Homocysteine that is not cleared in the blood and left intact begins attacking blood vessel walls, creating havoc throughout the entire body. Homocysteine is now considered the new cholesterol and a powerful risk factor for heart disease and stroke. With all the research on heart disease, we have recently learned that approximately 60 to 70% of all heart attacks occur in people with normal cholesterol levels. The mere presence of cholesterol does not cause heart disease. Oxidation and inflammation also must occur for a heart attack or stroke. Therefore, it is important to look at all risk factors, including homocysteine, before taking a statin medication to lower cholesterol. So why have most people not had this test if it is such a powerful risk factor for heart disease and stroke? For one thing, not all healthcare professionals know much about homocysteine. And secondly, there's no medications for lowering homocysteine. Homocysteine levels above 13 are a risk factor for heart disease, stroke, inflammation, cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's diseases, to name just a few. Causes of high homocysteine. For most people, an essential amino acid found in meat is an indirect source of homocysteine. There are many circumstances when homocysteine may become deadly if not broken down and cleared from the bloodstream. A lack of B vitamins may impair homocysteine metabolism, as can high levels of acid in the diet from eating too much animal protein, processed foods, and acidic beverages. An extremely low carbohydrate diet, along with lack of sleep and too much stress, may also increase homocysteine levels. A recipe for high levels of homocysteine. Many years ago, while interviewing a new personal training client, the subject of cholesterol came up. My new client, a woman in her early 50s and in great physical shape, stated that she was concerned about heart disease due to her mother and sister having a history of heart problems. She felt good because her cholesterol levels were already low and she exercised daily. I asked her if she knew what her homocysteine level was. She had no idea what homocysteine was or why she needed to get it checked. Her doctor had never mentioned it. I explained that it was a blood test that measured oxidation, a risk factor for heart disease and stroke. I recommended she request it be tested the next time she got a blood test. Her annual physical was coming up in a few weeks, so she agreed to do it. I also asked her to do a 3-day sleep, nutrition, and exercise log. A few weeks later, she returned with her blood tests and her log. I was shocked to see her homocysteine level at 39, 3 times the norm. I told her homocysteine level should be between 5 and 13. When I looked at her food log, she had been on an extremely high protein, low carbohydrate diet for many years. She was also eating lots of meat and cheese with little or no fruit, ancient grains, or starchy carbohydrates. She was drinking 4 cups of coffee along with artificially sweetened beverages throughout the day. Her entire diet was extremely deficient in many vitamins and minerals, along with being highly acidic. Her hair was brittle, her skin was dry, and her breath had that smell of acetone. She was very lean, and it was her goal to stay lean. After our second session, she never came back. I do not think she wanted to hear what I had to say. Unfortunately, 2 years later, she had a heart attack. Thank goodness she survived her heart attack. Could her heart attack have been prevented by changing her diet and lowering her homocysteine level? How to improve homocysteine. Step 1. Ask for a homocysteine blood test. The amount of oxidation in the body is a risk factor for heart disease, stroke, cancer, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, and an aging body. Step 2. Eat foods high in folate, vitamin B9. Folate plays an extremely important role in clearing homocysteine from the body. Foods high in folate include leafy greens, asparagus, broccoli, cucumbers, beets, sweet potatoes, squash, strawberries, flax seeds, spirulina chlorella, and frozen wheatgrass. When taking folate in a supplement form, take folate, not folic acid. Folic acid is a synthetic form of folate. Step 3. Eat foods high in vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is involved in the metabolism of proteins and carbohydrates. Low levels of B6 allow homocysteine to increase. Foods high in B6 include beans, nuts, bananas, cabbage, cauliflower, potatoes, and whole grains such as oatmeal, amaranth, teff, and millet. Step 4. Eat foods high in B12. Vitamin B12 is also essential during the metabolism of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. As with folate and B6, vitamin B12 must be present to rid the body of harmful amounts of homocysteine. Foods high in B12 include Brussels sprouts, kale, parsley, whole grains, nuts, seeds, sea vegetables, spirulina chlorella, and fish. Step 5. Bring on the choline. Choline is another B vitamin and is a building block for fats necessary for building cell membranes. Choline is important for brain function and memory. Foods high in choline include nuts, peas, lentils, broccoli, cauliflower, eggs, and fish. And lastly, step 6, eat more antioxidant foods. Antioxidant foods decrease oxidation. Consume more omega-3 fats along with colorful fruits and vegetables. Highly sensitive C-reactive protein, or CRP. Another blood test that most people are not familiar with is called highly sensitive C-reactive protein, or hsCRP. High levels of hsCRP in the blood is a marker for inflammation. It can be caused by a wide variety of conditions from infection to cancer. High sensitive C-reactive protein levels can also indicate that there is inflammation in the arteries of the heart. This can mean a higher risk of heart attack or stroke. It was not until the year 2000 that the role of inflammation in heart disease started to gain momentum. Dr. Paul Ridker of Harvard Medical School developed this blood test and reported in the New England Journal of Medicine that women with elevated high-sensitive C-reactive protein were 4 times more likely to suffer heart attack compared to women who had a normal high-sensitive C-reactive protein. The American Heart Association and the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention have defined high-sensitive C-reactive protein risk groups as follows. Low risk, less than 1.0. Average risk, 1.0 to 3.0. And high risk, above 3.0. Causes of high-sensitive C-reactive protein. There are many factors that contribute to high levels of inflammation throughout the body. First and foremost is a high level of acid or pH imbalance. Remember, high acid levels raise inflammation throughout the body. This can be caused by consumption of too many processed foods, fast foods, and processed omega-6 fats such as corn or soybean oil, as well as too much alcohol, soda pop, energy drinks, animal protein, and trans fats. High levels of stress, dehydration, lack of essential nutrients, and poor sleep can all add up to high levels of inflammation. How to lower high-sensitive C-reactive protein. Step number 1, ask for a highly sensitive C-reactive protein test. As with homocysteine, step 1 is to get a high-sensitive C-reactive protein test. The amount of inflammation in the body contributes to risk factors for heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, poor bone health, pain, and a compromised immune system. Step 2, adopt an anti-inflammatory diet. Start by cutting out processed, acidic, highly inflammatory foods and beverages. Foods and beverages in the red area of the food target are highly processed, acidic, and extremely inflammatory. Step 3, bring on healthy fats. Omega-3 fats, such as cod liver oil, ground flax seeds, and chia seeds, are extremely anti-inflammatory, as are healthy fats such as extra virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, almonds, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, and hemp seeds. Most raw nuts and seeds are also anti-inflammatory. Cut out all processed oils such as corn, soy, and canola oil. Step 4, eat from the green area of the food target. Foods in the green area are more alkaline and nutrient dense and lower inflammation. Step 5, add super greens to the diet. Spirulina chlorella, frozen wheatgrass, kale, spinach, bok choy, broccoli, and asparagus are all high in chlorophyll, extremely alkaline, and lower inflammation. Step 6, hydrate. Staying well hydrated is essential for almost anything related to having a healthy body and is extremely important in decreasing inflammation. And lastly, step 7, make space for rest and rejuvenation. I've had clients who have healthy diets, but their stress levels are out of control. When their high-sensitive CRP levels come back high, they are very confused as to why. Too much stress and lack of rest can contribute to an imbalanced pH and create a great deal of inflammation throughout the body. Some people have a hard time believing that how they think can make them sick. As I've pointed out multiple times throughout this audiobook, stress coupled with lack of rest and rejuvenation can be linked to most diseases around the world. Getting enough rest and rejuvenation is the key for lowering inflammation. Prostate-specific antigen, PSA. Prostate cancer is now one of the most common cancers in men in the United States, with over 250,000 new cases of prostate cancer and 35,000 deaths each year. PSA is a protein produced by the cells of the prostate gland. The PSA test, a screening for prostate cancer, measures the level of PSA in a man's blood. Prostate cancer screening can help identify cancer early on when treatment is most effective. A normal PSA test combined with a rectal exam can provide reassurance about the risk of prostate cancer. Professional organizations vary in their recommendations about who should and who should not get a PSA screening test. Most agree to encourage the screening in men between the ages of 40 to 80 and in men with increased risk of prostate cancer. Whether to have a PSA test is something you should decide after discussing this with your doctor and consider your risk. A normal PSA reading is 0 to 4.0. Causes of high PSA. Consuming processed foods and beverages, too much alcohol, smoking, high levels of stress, and a sedentary lifestyle all contribute to increased cancer risk, including prostate cancer. Being deficient in nutrients such as iodine and zinc may also contribute to an increase in prostate cancer. How to improve prostate health. Step 1, get regular checkups. All men over the age of 50 should have their prostate physically checked on a yearly basis, especially when there is family history of prostate problems. Step 2, consume foods high in GLA. GLA is an omega-6 fat that helps boost the immune system, protecting the body from cancer. Foods high in GLA include pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, hemp seeds, evening primrose oil, black currant seed oil, and spirulina chlorella. Step 3. Consume sea vegetables. Sea vegetables such as kelp, sushi nori, dulse, and kombu, and many others are very cooling and help reduce tumors and unwanted growths. Sea vegetables are also high in iodine, which helps support the prostate gland. Step 4. Consume cereal grasses. Cereal grasses such as wheatgrass are high in minerals and chlorophyll and contain anti-inflammatory properties to help protect the prostate. Step 5. Bring on the trace mineral zinc. Zinc is tied directly to the immune system. For many people, zinc levels quickly decline with age. Foods high in zinc include chicken, lamb, spinach, beef, squash, broccoli, asparagus, greens, oatmeal, teff, amaranth, millet, pumpkin seeds, spirulina and chlorella, and many beans. Step 6. Understand how medications deplete zinc. Many prescriptions and over-the-counter medications deplete the valuable mineral zinc. Ibuprofen, aspirin, antacids, and medications for acid reflux, blood pressure, cholesterol, and hormonal replacement therapy all have a leaching effect of zinc and should be used in moderation or avoided. Thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. Thyroid problems are on the rise, especially in women. The thyroid stimulating hormone is often the test of choice for evaluating thyroid function. There are two common conditions of imbalance in the thyroid. In hyperthyroidism, the thyroid is speeded up beyond normal function and uses iodine rapidly. In hypothyroidism, the thyroid functions below normal, often because of the lack of iodine. The hyperthyroid person moves faster than a speeding bullet, while the hypothyroid person moves like a turtle with sore feet. A normal reading for TSH is 0.35 to 5.5. Causes of thyroid imbalance. The body needs iodine to make the thyroid hormone, so a lack of iodine can cause havoc in the body and lead to a host of problems such as a compromised immune system, breast cancer, prostate cancer, diabetes, heart arrhythmias, low energy, little or no sex drive, depression, and weight gain. A nutrient-deficient diet, a high-acid diet, too much stress and lack of sleep, along with a host of medications that may rob the body of valuable minerals, including iodine, can easily put the body out of balance. How to balance the thyroid gland. A balanced pH is critical for bringing the thyroid back into balance. Planned recovery, coupled with daily movement and high-quality nutrition, all play a role in having a healthy thyroid. Step 1. Get your rest. I believe one of the reasons we're having an epidemic in thyroid problems is due to stress and not getting enough rest and rejuvenation. Adrenal exhaustion has become widespread, with millions suffering from stress diseases. Many people believe that having rest and rejuvenation strategy plugged in their life is a luxury. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked with men and women with thyroid problems who want some advice on how to improve their thyroid. When I ask them about their current rest and rejuvenation strategies, they often look at me like I have a third eye. The best way to improve thyroid function is to get restful sleep, breathe with a diaphragm, use a foam roller, get regular massages, play soft music, and create more space in their life. These simple strategies can truly make a difference. Step 2. Consume foods high in iodine. The body needs iodine to make the thyroid hormone. Foods high in iodine include asparagus, Brussels sprouts, carrots, coconut, fish, kale, oats, green onions, sweet potatoes, squash, strawberries, tomatoes, watermelon, spirulina chlorella, and sea vegetables. Step 3. Consume foods high in zinc. Zinc is not only essential for prostate health, but also for a healthy thyroid. Low levels of zinc may cause the development of hypothyroidism that could lead to hair loss, weight gain, fatigue, a feeling of being cold, depression, low sex drive, insomnia, dry skin, and brittle nails. Foods high in zinc include chicken, lamb, spinach, beef, squash, broccoli, asparagus, greens, oats, teff, amaranth, pumpkin seeds, and most beans. Step 4, keep your liver healthy. A clean liver equals a healthy thyroid. If the liver is stagnant and sluggish due to too much processed foods, alcohol, and dehydration, the thyroid may also become sluggish. Proper hydration, foods high in chlorophyll, and daily movement all contribute to keeping the liver clean and functioning at its best. And lastly, step 5, get good sleep. Sleep is critical for thyroid gland health. Breathe with your diaphragm. Get outside and move daily. Eat right and drink less alcohol, and plan your sleep. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is a blood test to determine if bone weakness, bone malformation, or abnormal metabolism of calcium is occurring because of vitamin D deficiency. Once ingested, vitamin D turns into a powerful hormone that helps build strong bones and muscles, lowers cancer risk by increasing immune function, and lowers the risk of type 2 diabetes by improving insulin sensitivity. Vitamin D is necessary to help absorb important minerals such as calcium and phosphorus, both necessary for healthy bones. Vitamin D is powerful, yet today more and more people around the world are becoming vitamin D deficient. A normal vitamin D level, 25 to 80. Causes of vitamin D deficiency. Lack of sunlight is one of the greatest reasons for being vitamin D deficient. Lack of consuming wild cold water fish, along with taking medications that leach out vitamin D, also contribute to the deficiency of vitamin D. How to improve vitamin D levels. Step 1, get out into the sun. Just 30 minutes of sunshine daily will provide approximately 10,000 to 20,000 IUs of vitamin D. Step 2, consume cod liver oil. Our product at OnTarget Living is harvested in Dutch Harbor, Alaska, has the highest source of vitamin D3 of any food source in the world. The livers of the cod are processed on the boat immediately after harvest to preserve the naturally occurring vitamin D3. Taking 1 to 2 tablespoons of cod liver oil daily provides approximately 600 to 1,200 IUs of vitamin D3 each day, or 4,200 to 8,400 IUs of vitamin D3 each week. Step 3, consume foods high in chlorophyll. All plants touched by sunlight contain chlorophyll. Green plants contain the highest amount of chlorophyll. Fortunately, chlorophyll foods act as a form of stored sunshine, performing like vitamin D in the body to regulate calcium. Foods such as frozen wheatgrass, spirulina chlorella, spinach, kale, broccoli, asparagus, collard greens, romaine lettuce, and sea vegetables all contain high levels of chlorophyll. And lastly, step 4, limit medications. Many medications rob the body of valuable nutrients, including vitamin D. Limiting medications as much as possible can help maintain vitamin D levels in the body. Testosterone. Testosterone is one of the greatest indicators of how well we are aging. I like to call the testosterone test the vitality blood test. We've all heard the term low T and the products touted to address it, such as Ageless Male or Androgel. There are a growing number of prescription pills, gels, and patches, all aimed at boosting testosterone levels in men struggling with growing older and symptoms such as decreased sex drive, erectile dysfunction, increased belly fat, loss of lean muscle, hair loss, poor sleep, depression, and fatigue. Advertising targeting testosterone is everywhere. Today, testosterone supplements and medications have turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Do we really believe a pill, gel, or a patch is going to fix the problem overnight, let's first ask some better questions. Why do testosterone levels drop? Could it be linked to stress, lack of sleep, little or no space, a poor diet, or a lack of exercise? Is it possible to move the testosterone needle by improving many lifestyle habits first? It may surprise many people that men do not have a monopoly on testosterone. Testosterone belongs to a class of hormones called androgens, but women also produce testosterone. Testosterone is a powerful hormone that keeps the body young and is involved in many processes in the body, such as growth, repair, energy, mood, sex drive, weight control, and muscle, bone, skin, hair, and nail health. As we age, testosterone levels slowly begin to drop. This may lead to a host of problems, such as a loss of muscle, weakened bones, dry skin and hair, brittle nails, low energy, depression, low sex drive, erectile dysfunction, and weight gain. A baseline testosterone blood test for both men and women can be very helpful in monitoring the aging process. These are the normal testosterone ranges for both men and women from the National Institute of Health. For women, 25 to 95. For men, 300 to 1200. While testosterone levels of 30 for women and 300 for men are considered in the normal range, these numbers do not indicate thriving health by any means. Total testosterone levels greater than 35 for women and greater for 500 for men move people in the thriving category. Total testosterone levels vary with age. Not enough recovery. At the age of 56, my blood test came back with a drop in testosterone of almost 200 points in just over 1 year. I felt like I was doing all the right things, taking my superfoods, drinking water, strength training, and eating well. When discussing this with my son Matt, he speculated that my drop in testosterone must be due to my crazy work schedule. During the prior year, I had conducted more than 100 speaking events all around the world. He reminded me that the number one way to build and protect testosterone and health is to get more rest and rejuvenation. I wasn't taking my own advice and needed this wake-up call. We then discussed a new plan to improve my testosterone. For every 4 days on the road, I needed at least 3 days at home to recharge my batteries. I also needed to focus on getting enough sleep, practicing my breathing, taking Epsom salt baths, getting regular massages, consuming superfoods, and strength training. 18 months later, my testosterone level bounced back to the original level. I just needed more rest and rejuvenation. Causes of low or imbalanced testosterone. We frequently get calls about hormone replacement therapy from men who have their testosterone checked and it came back low. For many, the doctor has suggested hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy may be an option, but let's begin by asking some better questions. Let's first try to uncover the why behind the problem before we start heading down the hormone replacement path. Here's a few questions for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your stress? Are you getting a good night of sleep? Remember, cholesterol is the raw material that makes testosterone. Are you on a statin medication? Are you drinking too much alcohol? Is your diet too acidic? Are you deficient in omega-3 fats, selenium, or zinc? Are you doing any strength training exercises? How to improve testosterone levels. Step number 1. Too much stress can produce too much of the stress hormone cortisol, which can steal from your building sex hormones. That includes testosterone. Step 2. Get good sleep. A good night of sleep is essential for hormonal balance and healthy testosterone production. Testosterone is produced when we sleep. Taking a sleep medication is not the remedy for improving your testosterone levels. A daily rest and rejuvenation strategy is essential for healthy testosterone levels. Step 3. Consume foods high in omega-3 fats. Omega-3 fats are the raw material to make healthy hormones, including testosterone. Cod liver oil, flax seeds, and chia seeds are a must for hormonal harmony. Step 4. Consume foods high in selenium and zinc. Selenium and zinc are two raw materials for building testosterone. Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, broccoli, asparagus, greens, beans, oats, millet, amaranth, chicken, eggs, lamb, and beef are all foods high in selenium and zinc. Step 5. Add strength training to your routine. I'm a huge fan of strength training for both men and women. I like to call strength training the fountain of youth. Strength training stimulates testosterone and growth hormone production. If you're not currently strength training, start slowly with a few exercises like a bodyweight squat or a modified push-up. If you're currently strength training and feel like you are doing the same old thing, change your rep ranges up each month. For example, 1 month, choose 5 reps with higher resistance and greater intensity. During month 2, go to 8 reps with a little less resistance. At month 3, go to 13 reps and even less resistance. Maintain your body alignment and posture with each exercise. At the end of each month, take a few days off for recovery. Step 6. Avoid statin medications. Statin medications block the production of cholesterol, the backbone for building steroidal hormones, including testosterone. When you block the production of cholesterol, you compromise hormonal balance, including testosterone. It is extremely important to get your testosterone measured on an annual basis as a great indicator of how you are aging. Glomerular filtration rate, GFR. Glomerular filtration rate is a blood test that checks how well the kidneys are working. It is one of several ways to measure kidney function. The kidneys have tiny fibers called glomeruli. These filters help remove waste and excess fluid from the blood. A GFR test estimates how much blood passes through these filters each minute. A normal GFR is 60 to 120. Causes of low GFR. There are many lifestyle factors that may contribute to low GFR reading. Dehydration, processed foods, too much alcohol, soda pop, energy drinks, excessive protein, protein powders, an acidic diet, stress, lack of sleep, lack of movement, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes all can play a role in putting excessive stress on the kidneys and a drop in GFR. How to improve your GFR? Step number 1, stay hydrated. Staying properly hydrated is essential for healthy kidneys. Step 2, consume foods high in chlorophyll. Foods high in chlorophyll are natural detoxifiers for the kidneys. Green foods such as spirulina chlorella, wheatgrass, kale, spinach, collard greens, broccoli, bok choy, and many more help the kidneys function at high levels. Step 3, consume detoxifying fruits and vegetables. Berries, bananas, oranges, watermelon, strawberries, lemons, limes, ginger, beets, and sweet potatoes are excellent foods for kidney health. Step number 4, cut out low-quality foods and beverages. It is not about being perfect, but consuming less alcohol, coffee, soda pop, energy drinks, protein powders, and processed foods all play a role in improving kidney health. Step 5, upgrade your lifestyle. Breathing practices, sleep, space, stress management, and daily movement all play a role in having a healthy GFR. Breaths per minute. Breaths per minute is a great indicator of whether the nervous system is in or out of balance. The fewer breaths taken each day, the healthier we will be. It is that simple. We have become a society of overbreathers, averaging up to 18 breaths per minute. That is a lot of inhalations and exhalations each day. Overbreathing puts an enormous amount of physical stress on the entire body, especially the heart and lungs. Alternatively, taking slow, diaphragmatic breaths through the nose creates efficiency and balance throughout the entire body. Breathe better by taking 10 breaths or less per minute, equating to 9,000 to 14,000 breaths per day. This change can affect your health, your energy, and your mind. I think your mind and body would love the new you. When breathing at a normal rate, our lungs can absorb about a quarter of the available oxygen from outside air. The majority of oxygen is exhaled right back out. By taking longer, slower breaths, we allow the lungs to soak up more oxygen in fewer breaths. When we slow down our breathing, we train the lungs to be more efficient. By taking fewer breaths, we do not decrease oxygen, we actually increase the oxygen due to greater absorption. For a deeper dive on breathing, go back and review Section 3. Here's a question for you. How many breaths do you take per minute? Resting heart rate. One of the best indicators of improved fitness and health is a low resting heart rate. As fitness levels improve, resting heart rate begins to slow down. This is due to an increased efficiency in the cardiovascular system, specifically an increase in stroke volume. Stroke volume is the strength of the contraction of the heart. As we become more fit, each beat of the heart can push out more blood due to an increase in stroke volume. One of the greatest indicators of overall health and fitness is a low resting heart rate. For most healthy adults, the resting heart rate should be under 60 beats per minute. Low fitness level, above 72 beats per minute. Moderate fitness level, 60 to 72 beats per minute. And a high fitness level, under 55 beats per minute. How to calculate resting heart rate. To get an accurate resting heart rate, find the pulse in your wrist. Take your pulse for 10 seconds and multiply it by 6 to calculate beats per minute. Do this first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. And here's a question for you. What is your resting heart rate? Causes of high resting heart rate. When stress levels are high or we lack sleep, eat and drink too many unhealthy foods and beverages, and get little movement in our day, our resting heart rate will begin to rise. Resting heart rate is a great example of how the body is talking to us. How to lower resting heart rate. Step number 1, move your body daily. Step 2, practice diaphragmatic breathing. Step 3, create more space in your life. Step 4, get more restful sleep. And step 5, eat and drink high-quality foods and beverages. Blood pressure. High blood pressure can be extremely debilitating to good health. Many people are not aware that they have high blood pressure. This is why high blood pressure is sometimes called the silent killer. High blood pressure stresses the arterial walls, which may then lead to stroke or damaged arteries. It also puts more demand on the heart muscle, creating a thicker heart. As the heart thickens, stroke volume declines, leading to a drop in cardiac output. Monitor your blood pressure on a regular basis. Also measure blood pressure at different times during the day to detect differences from morning to evening. There are many home blood pressure kits that are easy to use and very effective. Here's a question for you. What is your blood pressure? Causes of high blood pressure. There are multiple reasons for high blood pressure. These include obesity, poor nutrition, stress, lack of sleep, poor fitness, lack of exercise, pH imbalance, mineral deficiencies such as lack of magnesium, dehydration, and medication side effects, to name just a few. How to lower blood pressure. Step number 1, breathe with the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, which in turn stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows everything down, including heart rate, brain waves, and blood pressure. Step 2, consume high-quality foods and beverages. The consumption of high-quality foods and beverages, including avocados, macadamia nuts, cod liver oil, flax seeds, chia seeds, and healthy fats such as extra virgin olive oil may help lower blood pressure. Step 3. Consume foods high in magnesium. Foods rich in magnesium include avocados, oatmeal, coconut, cacao nibs, greens, dates, figs, raisins, prunes, bananas, mangoes, ginger, walnuts, chia seeds, beans, and beets. Step 4. Take an Epsom salt bath on a regular basis. Epsom salts are high in magnesium. Add 2 cups of Epsom salts to a warm bath. Soak for 15 minutes, 1 to 2 times a week. Step 4. Get enough rest and rejuvenation. Know Your Numbers handout. I want to make this crystal clear. I'm not your doctor, but for over 30 years, I've helped thousands of people understand and improve their numbers. A copy of the Know Your Numbers handout is on our website at ontargetliving.com under the Resource tab. After you print this off, take it with you to your doctor. It provides the basics to help you have a greater understanding of your risk and take ownership in your own health. Work with your doctor, understand your risk factors, and ask better questions. And always remember, the human body was designed to heal and self-correct. The magic is in you. Know Your Numbers essentials. Big picture. Blood tests give you and your doctor or healthcare professional a meaningful look into your health. A big part of decoding your health is a better understanding of your numbers, learning how to interpret those numbers, and understanding your risk. This will help you have a better conversation with your doctor or healthcare professional on how to set a strategy to improve your numbers. Of all heart attacks, 60 to 70% occur in people with normal cholesterol levels. In 1960, 1 in 4,000 people in the United States had type 2 diabetes. Today, that number is 1 in 10 and trending to 1 in 4. Nobody knows your body better than you. Ask yourself, do you know your risk factors? How many hours of sleep do you normally get per night? Do you drink at least 50 ounces of water each day? Is movement part of your daily plan? When was the last time you had your blood tested? Did you have your homocysteine, highly sensitive CRP, and total testosterone levels checked? How many breaths do you take per minute? What is your resting heart rate? Do you monitor your blood pressure on a regular basis? Small steps. Get your blood tested yearly and track your progress with a Know Your Numbers handout. Prior to going to your doctor, take a little time to prepare and educate yourself on your numbers. Take ownership in your personal health. Work with your doctor or healthcare professional. Ask better questions and take the necessary steps to better understand your numbers. And lastly, most importantly, improve those numbers.